You got your stuff ready? Because we are filming now.
Oh, I'm picking my ear. Yeah.
Oh, and I'm going to edit that little bit out anyway. Yeah, the couch eats you.
It does. If I sit back, I get swollen.
It is an eat you couch. It's awful.
I feel like...
Yeah, we can...
Yeah.
Well, now that we've lowered it and the lighting is a little bit better, I think that's okay.
Okay.
It makes my nose look huge. When I turn sideways, my nose looks ginormous.
You have a great nose. Don't worry about your nose. Everybody's nose looks ginormous from the side.
Yours doesn't look ginormous.
I don't. My nose is like...
You've got like a little button nose.
And my ears are itty bitty.
My mom has big ears.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't really get a chance to like look at them, and that would have been weird anyway if you were eyeballing my mom's ears. But my mom does have really big ears.
She does.
Yeah. I think that's why she always had long hair, is to hide her ears. I think she's a little self-conscious. Like, they're great ears, I mean, as far as ears go, but, like, she's just got really big ears.
I am not super self-conscious.
Not about my ears.
I am about my belly. My extra skin.
No. So welcome to Orderly.
Disorderly.
Crochet! Hey, you did it!
Yeah.
You
We didn't even practice this time? Woo-woo.
Yeah, we didn't practice. We just let it all hang out. Let's see where it lands.
Yeah.
So it's been like a hot minute since we've had like a full video because life and snow, all the snow.
Oh my god.
Like constant snow.
I am still cold. Like, just talking about it, I have goosebumps. It is so cold.
And like, and it's a heat wave. It's above zero today.
It is. I wore one jacket and a short sleeve.
Like,
shirt
it's
to
been,
drive in.
like, because last Saturday it was negative 55 with the wind chill. And
That was horrid. We literally drove last Saturday through...
And then
Oh.
2 days ago we had a snow squall.
What's a snow squall?
That crap that we had to drive home in,
Oh, yeah. That was horrid, too. It took me an hour.
it only took me 45 minutes, but
I was behind this one person. I won't pass people and that stuff.
yeah, I try not to pass them unless.
So I just kind of stayed behind them. I was like, whatever, I guess we're going 35 all the way home.
But I was on the interstate, so like I had a little bit more room to pass than what you
Yeah.
do. So, yeah. So between weather and kids and not feeling well, Christy has made a D&D character,
I love her.
and she will be playing with us. We are excited.
I didn't get to play Wednesday. I was so sad.
He should have been so sad. I
I was
totally
so
had
busy
so
puking.
much fun with the mushroom and all the dirty jokes. The giant mushroom.
God dang it, I missed the mushroom.
Like you did. You missed the mushroom. Defiant wrapped her hands around its thick shaft. Casted inflict wounds, and it rotted from the inside out, turning black and wrinkly, and went flat.
God.
Its spores were impotent to poison anyone.
Dude, and I just got done listening to Chikatilo.
What the hell is it? Watch Time Suck, you guys.
Time Suck is so funny. Yeah.
But yeah, so we had like all sorts of fun stuff, and then I was flirting with a dragon, so we didn't get eaten, and yeah,
That's
it
funny.
was fun times. And now we've got,
I was puking.
which was not fun times.
It was not fun time. I was all excited. I'm leaving work. I'm like, I'm gonna go. And then the headlights, and I was like, oh God, no, I'm going home.
I am not excited for anything right now.
I'm not excited for what is about to happen.
So what are you making right now?
A hat, a cat ear hat.
Another cat ear hat? You're using a different pattern than what I have.
What's yours?
Mine is a rib stitch, and it actually gets, to fold it together, it's like this. Like, you make it that wide. So, like, you make it the height that you need it, and then you go up and down with the rib stitch.
Mine's gonna fold together like this.
It's still cute. I saw your blue one that you made, and that one was really cute.
Yeah, I made it too big. It like falls down over my
Eyes.
eyeballs. Because I didn't know how it was folding together. I didn't watch the whole I am the laziest person ever. sometimes. Like, I didn't watch the whole video. I just, like, kind of wing it. And then I'm like, oh.
I get the idea.
So I thought it was going a different way, but then I was like, oh, yeah, I made it too wide. I'm like, I know what I'm doing.
Somebody with a big head can wear it.
Yeah, I do not have a big head. I have a big body, but not a big head.
Yeah. You don't have a big body.
It's getting smaller.
Yeah, I would say I saw your driver's license picture and like your work ID, and like you lost a ton of weight.
I know, which is weird because I don't. When I look at myself, I can't see it.
Body dysmorphia is a bitch.
I totally cannot see it at all.
So I can feel it. Like I've lost a lot of weight since working at.
Oh, you have, even from your.
From May. Like that picture
Yeah.
was taken in May, last May, and so it hasn't even been a year. But it's the difference between spending 12 hours on your feet versus 12 hours on your ass.
Yeah.
So. And the pay's a little bit better.
It is. Good God.
Don't start that shit. It's too early for that.
You're not a psychopath.
No, I'm not a psychopath. Although I can be. Like, if it's someone that I don't like, I don't yawn when they yawn. Like, if it is someone that I can't stand and they yawn in front of me, my body does not trip that yawning thing.
So.
But dogs yawning will make me yawn.
Yeah. Did you guys know that, like, being a psychopath can be detected if it doesn't trip the yawn response when somebody else
empathetic
yawns?
response.
Yeah, it's an empathetic response. So generally, psychopaths won't yawn when somebody else yawns.
Yeah, no, if it's someone I don't like, my brain does not, like, you have no empathy whatsoever towards them, so you don't yawn.
See, I am, like,
but I think
too empathetic.
But have you ever, like, around someone that you can't stand? Like, I'm going to call her Elle from Night Shift.
Oh.
Okay. Have you been around her when she yawns, though?
No, because
you don't like her.
I don't like her.
Okay, but next time you're around somebody that you actually, like, can't stand, like, their immediate...
Yeah,
see if you yawn around them, because I bet that, or if you do, it won't be like it won't feel like you properly yawned. You know what I mean? Like when you want to yawn, but you don't get that good yawn, and you're like, God, I just need to like.
You know, I could see that one person not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not
because I do not like them. That is, yeah, I am uber empathetic, but for that person, I have none.
That would be an interesting experiment to be around.
Yeah, it would.
Also, BTK hasn't yawned. I've watched him, and he hasn't yawned. Like, even when, the guy with the gauges on my line, he yawned, and BTK didn't yawn. But,
that's weird.
But I will point out the fact that BTK we call him BTK because he reminds me of Dennis Rader. He's kind of super sketchy. But,
he asked me if I wanted to have a beer, and I was like, no.
No, like, I don't like beer, and he goes, I don't like beer either. And I'm like, then why did you
ask? Why did you ask me if I wanted a beer?
But anyway, with BTK, in his defense too, because I will give credit where credit's due, he was actively working, so he may not have actually seen the yawn, and therefore wasn't able to hit the empathetic response. But yeah.
Still, though. Oh.
He is, like, there is something, he's not been rude, he hasn't actually done anything.
He's not rude, and it's just a vibe.
There's something about him where you're instantly like, don't touch me, don't look at me, just, like, do what you need to do for the job and get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's just something, we're still filming.
What was that noise? The little tick-tick?
I don't know. Oh, I bet it was my tablet.
Oh.
But yeah, we are still filming, so. Okay. But yeah, no, he is. There's just something off about him. Like, you know, like there's some people that you're like, nope, can't do it. He is that person.
I gave him a pair of headphones so he'd leave me alone.
Like, shut up and go away.
I was like, here, you need music. Take these headphones.
Are they good headphones?
Yeah, they were those orange ones.
Oh, the ones that,
Callahan was using.
Oh, I was trying to avoid using names.
My Bob. That she was using.
Like, that's why I was going out for descriptions and stuff instead of names.
Should we erase that?
No, we'll just go with it. Because that one's kind of ambiguous, that...
Yeah.
That one's fairly ambiguous. We're just going to avoid names in the future.
Okay.
But yeah, so like BTK does kind of freak me out and stuff. So I'll have to really watch him to see if the yarn. Did you mess up?
My yarn kinda.
Oh, I hate it when it like goes through the.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts when it does that. Yeah. So torture methods.
Torture methods.
Well, before we get to torture methods, is there any other updates?
Like as far as
Like, do we have anything else to update? We've just been snow. We missed like 3 days of work because of the weather.
Yeah.
And
paychecks are gonna be a
yeah, not great. And like, well, Rich's car, my husband, his car battery died. Like it was all bulgy and stuff, so we couldn't even jump it. So he wasn't able to work Monday. And then Tuesday, you were late because you had to replace your car battery.
Yes.
And the guy at O'Reilly's told Rich that he'd already replaced like 25 car batteries in like the previous week.
Yeah.
Which is an insane amount of freaking car batteries.
Because of the cold. It's the freaking cold, man.
Yeah, I was saying most of last week we didn't get over 0 degrees. It was negatives, and that's not including wind chill. Like it was just a -6. Yesterday morning it was -12 when I got up for work. So it has been pretty miserable.
I just haven't wanted to go to work.
I don't want to either. If it were up to me, we would just sit here and crochet until we died.
I really can't make money doing that.
We can't. Not unless Bill Gates wants to fund us. If Bill Gates finds us funny and wants to fund us, by all means.
Fund
do
me.
that.
We could start a GoFundMe page.
I'm not doing a GoFundMe page. Do you know how many sketchy meth heads I know that have done that just so that way?
I'm a sketchy meth head.
You are not a sketchy meth head.
I do meth all the time.
You've got teeth. You are not a sketchy meth head.
No, I don't do meth. I've never done meth.
I've also never done meth, and that sounds atrocious, but...
Oh, marijuana. There was a couple times I tried that, but not meth. Definitely not interested.
I wouldn't mind trying peyote in the future.
Peyote is
It's a mushroom. Yeah, it's a
isn't it?
hallucinogenic.
Yeah.
But I would want to do it for like an actual, like a spiritual, like religious type experience. Like I don't want to do it just to do it. Like I want like an actual.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I might. I don't know. Like I feel like I'm kind of a. Oh, I missed one. I'm kind of a control freak, so if I start to hallucinate or something, I kind of freak out.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like I don't. I have to be in
and I think
control.
part of it too is your upbringing too. Like, because I can be a control freak, and I don't like I don't get drunk very often because I like to be in control.
I like to be in control.
But I think because of our different upbringings and spiritual values that was instilled in us, I think that's the difference. Is like,
yeah,
I think you would feel too guilty
I know.
to enjoy a spiritual hallucinogenic experience.
I know. I think I would be like, yeah, I would be.
I had sex. I'm gonna die of AIDS.
Okay, but also, in the time that I grew up, it was very much AIDS.
Yeah, like I mean, that was
it was the big thing. Like.
Okay, but still, like, the lack of proper sex education in there does not help.
No, that did not help me at all. No, that was a definite...
Like, yes, AIDS was something, I mean, I think it still is, but not...
It is, but it wasn't quite as...
Stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as...
It was definitely much more stigmatized at that point.
Yes, it was very, very stigmatized.
But still, like, that's not how that works.
No.
Poor you. Like, if I could go back in time, I would give you a hug and tell you it's okay. And that you're not going to die of AIDS.
Yeah, no. I'm not.
But I will go back and tell 17, 18-year-old you, however old you were, in 18, 19?
19.
Okay, I will tell 19-year-old you that you're not going to die of AIDS, okay? Like, if I get a time machine, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. We should build a time machine. Maybe we can crochet one.
That'd be great, but I don't have the mathematical skills to hit the 4th dimension.
I mean, we could pretend we do. We'll just pretend.
We'll just pretend.
Yeah.
So then what we'll do is we'll get a refrigerator box and we'll crochet like a top for it.
Yes! We need to do that!
And we'll have a time machine.
You guys, do you want us to do a video from a refrigerator box?
That would
in
be
our
hilarious.
time machine.
That would be hilarious. so amazing.
That would be so fun.
Okay.
We can even color on the wall.
We can. I've got crayons and markers and colored pencils.
I've got markers. I got paint. I got all kinds of paint.
So we've got all sorts of stuff. We're going to need a couple of refrigerator boxes.
We need some refrigerator boxes.
That'd be fantastic.
Mm.
They got to be the good refrigerator boxes, though. Like, don't get us the cheap ones.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the refrigerator store and see if they have a box. Couple boxes for us. Oh yeah.
This is on. Okay, but I do vote because that's going to have to be like an outside thing.
It does have to be outside.
We're looking at March at the
Yes.
earliest.
We have to decorate our box, so.
And it needs to be warm
Yes.
for us to film outside because
Yes. It won't work
8
in
inches
the
of
house.
friggin' snow on the ground still right now,
Yeah.
and it's not melting very fast.
But we could paint it, and
Have it decorated, and that would be so cool. That'd be so fun.
that would be fun.
Our kids would think that we lost our minds.
I don't care what my kids think. Hence the purple hair.
So, torture method. Back on track.
Oh, yeah,
'cause
sorry.
we have like rabbit holed this thing
Okay.
so bad. So do you want to start with yours, or do you want me to start with my first one and we'll just...
You do your first one.
Okay, so my first one is going to be scaphism. And it's a really cool torture method. Although I do know that some archaeologists and historians think that it may not have actually happened. I think it's a really cool way to kill somebody, though. So the idea is, and it was used specifically for traders, and it was...
Traders like traders, not traders.
Traitors.
Okay.
Traitors. Traitorous bastards.
Traitorous bastards.
Cyrus the Great, was a Persian emperor, king, whatever, is one of them that is said to have used this method of torture and execution. It was a 2-for-1. They were having a buy one get one free sale that day. And the idea is you get a small pond or lake, and you get 2 boats, and you put the person in the bottom boat with holes for his head and his arms and his feet to stick out of. And then you put another boat on top of him upside down. So he's been like almost in sarcophagus, again with his head, his feet, and his... So he's still there. And they force-fed him milk and honey to the point that it made him sick. And in case you don't know, that much milk and honey will have a laxative effect. And so you end up shitting yourself. And it's hot. Like, this is in the Middle East in the summertime, so it is hot. And you're covered in milk and honey. And so what happens when you're covered in something sticky and sweet?
Bears.
In the Middle East. I don't know if there's bears in the Middle East, but bugs.
I kind of imagine freaking Winnie the Pooh like coming up.
Winnie the Pooh is angry.
Coming up to me and like, I would love to have Supergirl honey. Sorry. Okay.
We're so serious about bears.
I was literally imagining Winnie the Pooh. Okay, sorry.
Bugs and vermin. Not Bugs Bunny, like creepy crawlies.
You wascally wabbit. Bear. Winnie the Pooh. Sorry.
Insects.
Wait, what? Sex?
Insects.
Oh.
And
I thought you said sex.
no, not this time.
Ah.
But anyway, so in some of the reports, and again, this is all like anecdotal stuff, like people say that so-and-so said so-and-so kind of thing, but like I said, it's a cool way to kill somebody. It is said that one guy lasted 18 days, because they would force feed him honey and milk, so he was getting enough nutrients and liquids to not die of dehydration, and to not just starve to death right away. But snakes and other vermin would crawl into the boat and would eat him from the inside out. And I think...
How would they eat them from the inside out? Would the snakes crawl up into their body?
I think the bugs are more of the inside out thing and not the snakes. But you gotta think of how like Rashi, if you've been shitting yourself because you've been forced to drink gallons of milk and honey for a long period of time, and then so like you're shitting yourself, so you're just stuck in this fucking boat. So like you're getting rashy and open wounds and sores and stuff, like
when you're stinky.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh doesn't want anything to do with you.
No, probably not. So yeah, one guy allegedly lasted 18 days for that one. And like that just also that had to have been one tough son of a bitch. Just gonna throw that one out there.
Yeah, no shit.
So yeah. Is that one way that you would like to go?
No, I think the second I shit myself, I'd be like, I'm out.
I'm done. Just
I'll confess. Whatever you want me to say, I did.
This is being caught for being a traitor.
Oh.
So like.
Not a traitor.
No, not a traitor. Like, you cheated me out on 2 gold coins for my silk cloth. No, like, they backstabbed the king, so to speak, kind of thing. So
there was no confession.
Yeah, there was no confession needed. This was just to be the most painful way for you to die, sir.
That sounds horrid.
Okay, but can you think of anybody that you would do that to? Because I can. I have a list.
No.
I have a couple of people. I'm like...
I don't think I would even do that to Elle.
No? Well, that's fair. But hers is more... Elle's thing is just being an obnoxious, annoying brat.
Not a woman's woman, like.
Yeah, no, she's not there uplifting other people.
I feel like women should be nice to other women because it's hard enough to.
Especially in the job that we do, because it is definitely a male, like our area specifically.
It's male dominant.
And, you know, and she intentionally makes things more difficult for
other females.
Yes.
I don't feel like you should kick another female.
No, like you don't.
There's no reason.
You don't need to like be best friends with them. That
no.
part, like, I'm not saying that we don't need to sit in a circle and sing Kumbaya, but you don't need to go out of your way to make life more difficult.
Life more difficult, yeah.
And that's the issue. Is Elle does do this.
But I still wouldn't put her in the boat.
No, I wouldn't put Elle in the boat. But there's people I would put in the boat.
Like
gleefully,
exes?
Yes, I would gleefully put.
See, I don't think I'd even put my exes in the boat.
Yeah, there's a difference.
There's a big difference.
I bet Persephone would help me put someone in the boat.
Yeah, I bet she probably would.
She would also do it gleefully and laughing the whole way too. I
mean, I would help you. I would gladly help you.
You would help? Be like, I got the honey.
Where's Pooh? Where's Pooh? Me and Pooh are coming with our honey pot.
But yeah, no, there's people I would put in the boat. And actually, if we did have a time machine, there's people from the past I would put in the boat. Hitler,
I got somebody.
Stalin.
Yeah. I can't say.
Okay. But you would put them in a boat.
But I would definitely put them in a boat.
So you see, like, Scothism is not entirely
they're
out of the question.
They're offenders.
Okay, we can leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's fair. But yeah, like, I've got a couple people that could go in the boat.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? Would you put somebody in a boat?
I would put any offender in a boat.
I think that's very ambiguous, but violent offenders towards young children.
Yeah. That's
definitely
exactly the type of offender I was talking about.
And I say that because, like, so there's this guy in my old military unit who'd been dating this girl before he turned 18 and had actually lived with her and her parents for a while and stuff. And it was all consensual, and the parents got pissed off at him and called him for statutory rape. He lost his military career. And even though she said it was consensual because she was under the age of 18.
That's not right.
No. So, like, that's why I said, like, that one can be
okay,
so I'm saying, like, violent offenders of kids, like, under the age of, like, 14.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's like, and again, violent. Like, we're not talking...
Forced.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you think about it, so even people who got drunk and accidentally flashed people are put on the sex offender list.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why...
Or for peeing in the park.
Yeah. So, like, there's... Like, that one's pretty ambiguous. But,
yes.
But, yes, I can think of several people.
Oops, sorry for smacking you.
And you're right, like, violent offenders definitely go on the list.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your first torture method today?
Well, my first one is,
the toka?
Toka. That scares the living shit out of me.
Okay, well, what is the toka?
It is basically waterboarding. They strap you to a board, and they stuff a rag in your mouth, and I can't crochet and talk. I've just learned that I need to put it down while I talk. But they stuff a rag in your mouth, and they pour water from, like, a jar or whatever over your face, and yeah, you're basically being waterboarded. And this was during the Spanish Inquisition, so they were trying to get you to confess to,
How are you supposed to confess to anything if you've got a rag in your mouth?
Right? I know. That's the whole thing. Like, you can't confess. You can't scream. All you can do is like, you know, and you can't even like, because you got a rag in your mouth. But yeah,
Yeah, they're trying to confess against heresy.
Heresy, yeah. Which, ew, yuck. Oh my god.
So I think part of the reason that you don't like it is, again, the close. I mean, I wouldn't like to be waterboarded because that sounds painful too. But same with the scaphism, I think, because you don't like tight spaces.
I do not.
So even though your head would have been outside of the boat, I think the idea of being enclosed and stuff like that and trapped would have really
freaked out.
You are scared of entombment.
I am. They put me in an elevator Saturday that there was.
Yeah, you were nut to butt. Okay, there was four people in there.
There was 4 people in this elevator, and it was
we were nut to butt.
Itty bitty elevator in an old elevator. Oh my god! And then they were jumping.
Okay, only one was jumping.
Okay, one was jumping. She didn't jump.
I did not jump.
Thank God. But they jumped, and I was like, oh my god.
I was trying to remember the calculation for how many feet per minute gravity works, so that way if it did crash, I could time my jump right.
You're such a dork.
You
That's
think I'm
freaking
playing,
awesome. No, I know you're serious. That's why it's so funny. And I'm like, just like, breathe, 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 breathe. And then I look up and thinking we're going down to the first floor.
For the record, I did not see them hit the top floor button because he was blocking it. But
yeah, I thought we were going down to the first floor, which would have been 2 floors. And I'm like, oh my god, this is taking forever. And then I look up and I'm like, it says 12. Yeah. It says 12. Why does it say 12?
It was worth it though. It was really pretty.
It was really pretty.
It was stunning.
But by the time I got out of the elevator, everything was spinning.
I did get you a really cool picture.
She got me a really cool picture. We'll post it on our Facebook thing.
Yeah, which is Orderly Disorderly Crochet on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And
she got a really cool picture. I was going to take it, but I didn't think I could lay on the floor because everything was spinning.
So, like, I'm just laying on the floor like a dork.
Yeah, she laid on the floor. But yeah, I can even walk straight.
It was fun, though.
It was fun.
Totally worth it.
Yeah, it was. Worth the torment of the elevator ride.
But yeah, so entombment is your big thing. But yeah, so how are they, like... So yeah, that one was just sadism. Like,
that's
that one...
just pure evil. Like, and then during the Spanish Inquisition, they had given the priests or the Inquisitors. The Inquisitors the ability to be forgiven for doing this stuff.
Yeah, like there was a
to the people. And it's like, you are basically being sadistic, and you can just, I'm forgiven because I'm
the Catholic,
going after them for heresy, and I'm an inquisitor, and this is okay. No, it's not okay. Being waterboarded, drowning or being burned to death would be one of my worst ways to die. Or maybe an elevator falling from the 14th floor. That would be pretty bad too. But yeah.
Yeah, no.
Waterboarding,
I was listening to a lot of documentaries on torture methods and stuff in preparation for this. And actually one of the biggest things was, like, they didn't actually do these torture methods on everybody. They really only had to do them on, like, we're still filming, on, like, 1 or 2 people, because then the word would get out, and just the threat of the toca or the rack or whatever would
They'd have people watch while they did it, too.
Yeah, so, like, no, like, I don't, and I think that was more, the psychological torture involving that was more than even... Like I said, they would only have to do it on 1 or 2 people, and then after that, everyone's like, no, don't do that, because John Smith over there, he's gonna do the toca. You're gonna drown. You're gonna feel like you're gonna drown.
My brother almost drowned me once. He jumped on my back when I was in the deep end.
That's why he had a squished head.
Maybe. But yeah, he jumped on my back and almost drowned me, and that was terrifying.
So, yeah. Okay, so are you done with the toca, or is there anything else you wanted to add to that?
Sometimes when you were laying on the board, they'd put nails or other stuff that you'd be laying on, too.
Oh, so, like, not only do you get to, like, not be able to confess, and you're gonna feel like you're drowning, but you also have to do it very uncomfortably while doing.
while drowning, you get to lay on rocks and
like,
sticks and
just shoot me
Legos.
at this point. Like, you're just being an asshole
They should
now.
put Legos.
They did not put Legos.
No, the dice.
The D4s.
The D4.
Yeah, the D4s are worse than Legos.
It's like a triangle.
It's a little pyramid.
Yeah.
It's stabby.
Yeah, you'd have to lay on a bunch of D4s instead of nails, but I could not handle being waterboarded.
Yeah, I would have confessed as soon as they tried to put me on that. Be like, nope, I'm done. Okay, I'm not gonna get a good night's
I'd be
sleep.
like, I slept with John, Jim,
Joe,
Jake,
Jose,
Javi.
I was just going with the J's because that's what you started with.
Javi starts with a J.
It does. So does Jose. But yeah, so that sounds awful. Like, what a dick move.
Yeah. Terrifying. Okay, your turn.
My turn. So, I actually have 4. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's another one I want to do.
That's okay, I have 2 more too.
Okay. So
I have 3 and you can have 4.
Okay. So, like I said, I watch a lot of documentaries and stuff, and will listen to them because I can't focus on anything. And I did one over pirates torture methods, which was really cool. But one of them, everyone knows about the lashings and the walking the plank, but then there was also keel hauling. And the idea is that you tie the length of rope, that's the length of the ship, and they would toss you overboard, and they would drag you along the bottom of the ship where the barnacles were, and the barnacles would tear the flesh off of their bodies and stuff. And again, this is for like an extreme punishment. Like, this is for like you've like attempted mutiny type thing. So now, not only are you possibly going to drown or freeze to death because it's the ocean and it's not exactly hot, depending on where you're at. Like, because I realized that there was Pirates in the Caribbean, but in my head, my brain's like, no, they're gonna do this to me in the Arctic, like off the coast of Greenland. That's where this is gonna happen to me at. Like, I don't get to be tortured, you know, off the coast of Puerto Rico. I'm gonna get tortured off the coast of Iceland. Because that's how my brain works. And so, yeah, can you imagine how cold that water would be?
Yes.
So now you're trying to hold your breath for however long it takes them to pulley you through the length of the ship while you're being drug along the bottom, so you're holding your breath for that. But your skin is literally being ripped to shreds by the sharp, pointy suckerfish stuck to the bottom of the boat. You get goosebumps so easy. You don't get mental images, but your body's like, no, we're going to have a response, like a visceral reaction for something we can't even see.
We can't even see it, but we're going to have goosebumps.
So, yeah, so that one sounds pretty rough, and I can actually think of a couple people that I would like to keel haul too. And because they could live, in theory, like if they were able to hold their breath and stuff like that.
I can hold my breath for a very long time considering that I smoke.
Maybe. I don't know how long. I've never actually tried to hold my breath for very long, but I would probably get bored halfway through and forget to take a breath. But there are alleged anecdotal cases because, I mean, they're pirates. Can you trust a pirate? But there are cases of people that were able to survive this. They obviously would never make that thing fuck up again, but yeah, so you could, in theory, survive it depending on, like, how deep they let you sink into the water, because you could just be drugged through the water and avoid most of the barnacles.
Do they have their clothes on? Or would they be, like, nude? It would be more efficient if they were naked.
It would be more efficient if they were naked, and save on clothing as well. I don't know. They actually didn't. I imagine they took their shirts off. There was reports of that, but the pants, the breeches, I'm not sure about, to be honest. Yeah, no, I don't want my dick getting scraped. Could you
dick on a barnacle?
No.
Oh!
No,
the barnacle got my dick.
No, thank you. That sounds awful. But yeah, so there's keel hauling, and yeah. So I still have 2 more. So do you want me to do my other smaller one?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. It's rat torture, and you actually see a clip of it In one of the Fast and Furious movies, I can't think of which one, where they take like a bowl and they put it on the person's stomach with the rat underneath it, and then they heat the bowl up, and the only place that the rat has to go is to the stomach. They would actually do that. There are reports during various inquisitions, not just the Spanish one, of sometimes cutting a person's stomach and doing the same thing with like a clay jar, heating up the jar so that way the rat has to crawl in and eat its way. Or they would just trap the rat in there and keep the person tied down, and the rat would start gnawing on its own because it was hungry, and it was left there long enough that was the only food opportunity that it had.
God.
And I don't mind rats, okay? Like,
I don't mind rats either.
okay,
I would have
let me rephrase this. I don't mind laboratory rats, okay? Like pet rats, those don't bother me. If someone has like a rat in a cage, like, I'm okay with it. Wild New York City rats, which by the way, there's like 3 different subspecies of New York City rats, and they don't cross lines, which is a creepy fact in and of itself. Apparently there's like 5 rats for every person in New York.
There's rat gangs.
Yeah, it's awful. But the idea of rats just, you know, eating through the flesh and stuff in the wild, that one bothers me. But, or like people's pet rats, bless you. People's pet rats.
I don't know if I'm done.
They don't bother me.
Yeah, I like pet rats. Their tails are kind of gross.
They are. Like,
the tail is just so gross on a rat.
It's not even scaly, okay?
It's like...
Because, like, I don't mind snakes. I'll pick up and throw the
I don't mind
snakes. I'm okay with... So it's not even quite scaly, because it doesn't feel like a snake.
It's just fleshy.
But not
fleshy. It's like...
And there's a little bit of hair, but it's not... like, it's just...
I don't know. Rat tails...
Yeah, if rats didn't have tails, I think they'd be a perfect pet.
I think so, too. So, a guinea pig?
Yeah. Pretty much. You know they eat guinea pigs? They can get pretty big.
Really?
Yeah.
In New Guinea?
Yeah. I'm dead serious. They can,
I know.
And they get large. They get like that big. Like, they get like picnic size.
Really?
Yeah.
Ours probably stay smaller because they're caged.
And because like they've been bred to be smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, rat torture, guinea pigs. Now it's your turn.
My other one was a rack. And I thought it was funny because they were saying the sounds of popping and
joints and
popping
tendons,
and
snapping,
ripping can actually make people. It makes me feel gross.
Yeah, I say you don't like it when
I don't like it.
You look so disturbed when my back popped earlier.
I know. I don't like the sound of joints popping, or like if somebody takes their neck and just.
Like
I'm
that?
like, ugh. But yeah, just watching that, they like put you on the board with rock sticks, the number 4 die, and Dungeons and Dragons. But and then they cup your hands and feet, and they stretch you until your bones, ligaments, muscles, everything pop, and you can literally hear it. Besides the screaming, you're hearing the ligaments. And
but to be honest, there's been days where I've been like so stiff, where I'm like,
that would
just give me just a little twist on the rack, just to stretch everything out.
Like Morticia.
Yeah, like, and Gomez.
And Gomez.
Like, as a kid, I was like, that's weird, because I didn't know what BDSM was. I was like, that's odd. And then as an adult, I'm like, I get it.
I get it. Just a little.
She's not wrong.
Give me just a little twist.
Just a little one.
A little twisty. Not until my shoulders dislocate or anything.
So I had come across a documentary on different torture methods, and the rack was on there, and they actually did experiments because they were trying to figure out how come some victims that they have dug up, at which point does it go from grave robbing to archaeology?
100 years.
Is it 100 years? Like that?
I would say
100 years.
In my mind, it's 100 years. So
if they've been dead for 100 years, then it's no longer grave robbing. Then it's archaeology. Okay.
Yeah, that's my rule.
Okay.
I made it up. Do you like that rule, or do you not?
I'm just curious for a friend. But so they come across victims of the rack, and their tendons and stuff looked fine, but their bones were actually broken. And so they were doing experiments. They used pig bodies because pigs are, pretty similar to humans. And the thing is if you do it slowly with the rack, like slow turns, the tendons can elasticize with it
Yep.
and don't snap, but the bones can't take that pressure, and the bones will snap and shatter.
Yep.
So like that was just a really cool thing I'd come across.
There was also like stories of how your muscles would just they'd stretch them so bad that they'd just not
They couldn't go back to normal.
They'd lose all elasticity. So the muscles would just
You just look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
yeah. Yeah.
You got it. There it is. I was just waiting.
Poor Quasimodo.
That was so mean.
You guys, I'm the devil.
We're not gonna get into that
We're
story.
not gonna get into that story, but I am the devil.
That was so mean of you.
It was
like,
so mean, but I wasn't trying to be mean.
and what's worse is that no, okay, Squatch
knew.
Yeah, Squatch.
You knew.
Squatch and I both knew exactly who you were talking about, which makes us just as culpable for that.
Right. So they both knew exactly who I was talking about when I said it.
But he's so sweet. Like, you were mean.
So sweet. I couldn't think of his name. I still can't think of his name.
I can think of his name.
Quasimodo.
Yeah. I can think of Quasimodo's name pretty easily. Thank you. Anyway.
I can't.
So,
I'm horrible with names.
Okay, so my next one is the Brazen Bull.
Oh.
You've heard of this one.
Oh, God. Oh.
Again, this one's anecdotal. I can't remember which Greek philosopher, historian, old guy wrote originally, but there was, on the island of Sicily, a tyrant. It was not known as Sicily at the time. But this tyrant was looking for a new way to torture people and to execute them. And he found this inventor. And this inventor was kind of cocky anyway and kind of an asshole.
Oh.
It's not charged.
It's a light one.
Yeah,
Sorry, I saw the button and I was like, ooh, a button.
Must push the button.
Sorry.
Anyway, so
Sorry.
he got this inventor to come build this torture method, and the inventor, like I said, is cocky and pretty twisted himself anyway. So he made this bowl that was hollow on the inside, made of brass, and the idea was that you trap people on the inside of the bowl, you lock them in there, and you put fire underneath it, and as it heats up, they slowly start being boiled and suffocated alive. The intricate thing about this, and that's also very interesting, is there's also pipes leading out so that the person's screams are supposed to sound like a melodious music playing while they're screaming. So no one in the room outside can hear the screams. They just hear this amazing heavenly music as they're being boiled alive in their own sweat. Like, literally. And the legend goes on to say that the tyrant was super impressed and was like, well, show me how the screams are supposed to work, and convinces the inventor of said bowl to crawl inside, and then he shuts the door on the inventor, and that is how he kills the inventor alive. The inventor dies via his own invention. So what's worse, the Brazen Bull or Scaphism?
The Brazen Bull.
Oh, you think that one's worse?
Yes, I do. It's hot.
It's hot.
I don't like to be hot. I don't like to be suffocated. I don't want to be boiled. I would rather shit myself to death.
Okay, but you're also being eaten by bugs.
I'd rather be eaten by bugs. Yeah, I don't want to do no.
So, Scaphism for you it
yes,
is?
please.
Okay.
I'm gonna try that one.
I don't even like milk, so
I don't like milk either, or honey.
I can handle honey and tea, like especially if I've got if I need a hot toddy from
right.
cold. Like,
honey and tea is good, but I don't like milk. I mean, I would
everyone's
probably vomit and shit myself.
You know, like people in churches are always like, yeah, heaven's supposed to be like the land of milk and honey. And I'm like, that sounds disgusting.
I'm like, ew.
I don't want that.
Milk sounds horrid.
Like, I don't know how desperate you guys are, but I am not that desperate.
I am not wanting the milk or the honey.
Okay. So your last one, which I do know a little bit about because I
can't remember which one I said.
You said the Catherine's wheel.
Oh yeah, then I have another one too.
Okay.
The Catherine's wheel is like a they stretch you out over a wagon wheel, and they beat you with clubs. And the
Executioner?
Yes. No. I'm so bad at speaking. The gaps in between the wheels.
In between the spokes.
In between the spokes. When they hit you, allows your bones to break easier. And yeah.
So the name of it, I don't know if you came across, is actually from a woman who refused to get married because she was a Christian. And she actually allegedly got her sainthood from this because they tried to kill her via this method and it did not work. There's different myths on it. Like, there's so many. But another version is also after your bones have been broken, if you're still alive, they will thread your broken limbs through the spokes.
Through the spokes, yeah.
And just let you sit there.
Yeah.
And slowly die to death. Okay.
That would be horrible.
So, what's your other one that was in your head?
The breast ripper.
Okay. So I'll let you do the breast ripper, and then I will do one more.
The breast ripper is iron, like, claws, and they heat them, and they basically tear their breasts off. Like, they'll just rip it.
And that was usually for women specifically.
For women specifically, yeah. And they'll rip your breasts until there's just barely any
nothing there.
Breast tissue left, yeah.
What was the punishment for that for?
I don't remember.
I think that one was.
I think
that was more towards prostitutes.
Yes, I really feel like it was more towards like
prostitution or
just whatever.
But that one in general.
That one's horrible.
Yeah, that one's pretty rough. But I have one more that I just remembered.
Oh crap! I have another one too.
We can just do this all day. It's a Republican wedding during the French Revolution, in which they would tie nuns and priests together and throw them into the river.
Why?
And watch them drown, because it went against it's part of the fight between Catholicism and Protestantism and stuff. And France was really weird during the Revolution.
Disgusting. They're doing it all in the name of God or a god.
No, these ones were not doing it for God, period. They were doing it as a punishment toward them. But, like, it was, like, yeah, the French Revolution period, like, they were having some problems. Like, they really needed to step away and do themselves for a little bit, and they did not do that. They went crazy ex-girlfriend stalker mode on everything. We should totally do, like, just a video on the French Revolution together, because I think that would be fantastic. But, yeah, the French Revolution was pretty nasty.
Yeah.
And I do feel a little bad for Marie Antoinette on that one.
Oh my god.
And the reason why is because her mother did not have her educated properly. Like, she had tutors and stuff. She could speak French, she could speak German, Austrian. The issue is that her mother was such a fucking control freak that she did not actually teach her how to govern. And all of her tutors were focused on how to properly, like, survive in the French court, which was super ritualistic and stupid. And so Marie Antoinette was basically had her legs chopped out from underneath her from the very get-go. Like, it was not going to end well regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty crappy. Okay, so you said you had one more?
It's a boot.
The boot. I don't know.
That sounds like god awful to me. They put it in your foot, your leg, your lower leg, and your foot in this metal boot, and then they slowly crush your foot, ankle, and lower leg.
There's actually several other things, because sometimes the metal boot, they would dump hot wax or hot tar inside, and so not only is your leg getting crushed,
it's getting
boiled and blistered, and like, I have a problem with my feet anyway. So
I do too.
Like, no, I'll take scaphism. I will take milk and honey.
That's exactly mine too.
And it's just, and like, it's not meant to be executionary. Like, whereas scaphism and the Catherine's will, like, the idea is like you're being tortured, but you're willing to die. Like, there's death at the end. With the boot, there is no death at the end.
No,
usually.
and then
like, you're fucked for the rest of your life.
Right. Like, even my ankle from my surgery, the rest of my life, I still feel it. And I can't even imagine coming out of the boot with the
but
hot.
that one's another psychological torture thing, like what the rack is in Toka, because you're gonna have a really bad, like you're gonna be scarred for life for that one. Like
I feel like the breast ripper is psychological too.
Oh, 100%. But that one is, I think, was just a downtrodden women more.
Yeah.
Like the Scold's Bridal. You know what that one is?
No.
So it's a mask, and a lot of the times they would have a pike that would go on the person's tongue, and it was almost always a woman, for being a nag or a shrew, and she would be forced to wear this mask, and you see it in one of the Saw movies. I can't remember which one. Maybe it's the first one, but you've got this like metal mask. You can still breathe and stuff in it, but you can't eat. And this pike sits on your tongue, and if you try to move your tongue, if you try to talk, you'll end up cutting the shit out of your tongue. And it was a punishment specifically for women, so that way they would stop nagging their husband.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like that one was...
I don't have the energy to nag my husband. I will tell him once, and then I'm like, you don't do it, I'm gonna hate you for the rest of your life.
I don't know that I'm a nag, but I do try to communicate openly, so...
I will communicate openly, but if they don't get it, I'm like...
Rich would have to comment and see if I'm actually a nag or not. I try to not be a nag, like...
I can't see you being a nag.
You don't think so?
I mean, maybe. If I was continually fucking something up, you'd be like, damn it, Christine. Take your head out of your ass.
This is a long video for the record. Like,
okay, maybe we should go.
No, it's fine. It's okay. We gotta make up for last week.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you have another torture method?
Oh, I can't remember what it's called. The
saw?
No.
That one's pretty gnarly.
It was like this.
Describe it.
Put your hands behind your back, and then they lift you up.
Oh, and then they drop you really fast.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name.
Can't remember though. The Judas chair.
That one. So it's a pyramid.
Yeah.
It's like a four-sided pyramid, and they have a bar between your ankles, so that way you can't try to close your legs, which means that you can't clench your butt cheeks in the process. And they did this one specifically to homosexual men, and they would do it to women as well.
They would do it to women too.
But they would slowly like lower you onto this pyramid, and it would like rip you in half from the butthole. Like it was.
They'd even put it in women's vaginas.
But yeah, like.
And then they could never have
kids again. Like it would screw everything up.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I feel like Spanish needed therapy.
I think everybody needs some kind of therapy.
Yeah, no, okay, but to come up with the Judas Cradle and like...
That's freaking insane!
Like, this is going to be a good way to kill somebody. Slowly.
But they didn't even do that one to kill you.
No, but it would usually result in death afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, the goal wasn't to kill. It was just to torture and just to be an asshole to people.
Yeah.
But yeah, then there was the pitchfork. That one I think was Portuguese. Do you know what the pitchfork was? So what they would do is a fork. It would have pronged in on each side. It would go under the chin and then right here, and so you couldn't move your head down without killing yourself. So if you died, it would still be considered suicide. Like that one was on you, and yeah, like that one.
That's insane.
Was rough as well.
Yeah, I mean, okay, the demented part of me. Researching all the torture devices was kind of fun.
Oh yeah, that's because it's like the boogeyman. Like we tell scary stories to little kids and stuff. It's a safe thrill. Do we want that to actually happen to us? Absolutely not. But it's like the boogeyman for us. Like it gives us that sense of adrenaline and dopamine and stuff that gets their blood flowing for it. There's a reason that like women especially love serial killer podcasts and stuff. Like. Be like a chicken. I can't remember which comedian, but a comedian was talking about like women always watching serial killers. You'll be like a chicken watching a cooking show. This is how you die. You're deriving pleasure from it. And like
watching a chicken being quartered.
But no, like spatchcocked.
Spatchcocked. We did that to our turkey. We spatchcocked our turkey this year.
I was like, because it sounds mildly dirty. That's that word again. Um. Anyway, so all 90 degrees, huh?
Yeah.
So
all 90
so yeah, that's why women really enjoy serial killers thing is because it's a safe place. Like we're at home, we're safe. It's not going to get us. Like in theory, yeah, we're the number one target audience for that shit.
I keep yawning. I'm sorry.
You really should stop.
Don't do it. Fight it.
I did. I got a little one.
You did. It was like a half one.
Well, that's because I learned to yawn with my mouth closed. Because I got my tongue pierced while I was still in the army. You weren't technically supposed to have a tongue piercing, so I learned to like talk without showing my tongue a lot and yawn without actually having to open my mouth a lot.
I used to have a tongue piercing. I miss it.
I wanted my tongue pierced since I was 6. Anyway, so yeah, you're gonna get a little thrill of like reading this stuff and like, oh my god, people were so demented because it's a safe place. Like it's not happening to you, so
right.
You can get that thrill. It's like the Boogeyman or the Tooth Fairy or fucking Peter Pan.
The ones that only gave me the goosebumps were the ones that were very claustrophobic, though.
Scaphism and the Rat, like.
Yeah, the Iron Maiden.
They say that actually wasn't used.
Yeah, I can't see how, like, there's so many different body sizes and stuff, that it would be efficient.
I think it was mostly, again, for the psychological torture.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you've been without water, you've been without food, you've been without sunlight for a while, like, or if you've had food, it's been shitty, bug-ridden food. Yeah, can you imagine measles or something? It's like, bleh. So then when you're taken to this room after basically being deprived of any sensory anything, then you're taken to this room and there's this big iron woman-shaped box with spikes in it. Like, you're not gonna give a shit if that wouldn't work for me because I'm too short or I'm too tall or like it's not gonna think when they're telling you. So it's specifically designed to where when these things poke into you, you're gonna bleed, it's gonna hurt, but it's not going to kill you.
Right, and it wouldn't be efficient because, like, if they put you and me in the same one.
Like, yeah, no, it's not going to. But again, a person who's already been in a dungeon for 3 weeks isn't going to be thinking about that. They're just going to be like, I don't want to go in there.
Yeah.
And then it was Martha. Martha did it. Like, that's how that's going to go.
Yeah.
A modern technique, speaking of sensory deprivation, is a white room. And I want to say that there's been reports of it happening in Iran, in Iraq and stuff, and that even our current CIA has used something similar to it. And basically, you are put in white clothes. You're put into a white room with blinding white lights, and that is, you don't see any color. There is no clock. Everything is just white. The guards are dressed in white. When their food is rice and potatoes, like and boiled chicken, like everything is white. There is no color, and that will make you go absolutely insane.
I could see that.
Like after even a couple of days, because our brains need that.
So that's so weird because yesterday, I was watching a movie called The Island or something on Amazon, and it had the young Scarlett Johansson. But they were all dressed in white, and the guy was like, "Why do I always have to wear white? I can't handle all the white." Like,
yeah, it's creepy. Like,
it was making him very irritated, just all the white. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like those women that have like the beige decorated everything, and it's like,
ew.
My decorations in my house don't match at all.
Mine either. Ask Sandy, or S.
No, I think she's commented, so that's different. I'm saying work-related stuff because I don't want to get in trouble at work.
Yeah. Sandy would come to my house and be like, "You have the most eclectic taste of anybody I've ever known."
Yeah, no, like, yes, I can't.
I
and I'm like, oh, it'd be so cool to have like a matching themed living room. And then I'm like, but then I go to someone's house and it's like a light beige wall, like the colors of this. Okay, and this is what the house, like, we haven't painted since, like, we've got the green Minecraft wall over there.
Yeah,
because it's originally going to be Kyron's room, and then Kyron wanted to. It was complicated, but so like the light beige everything, and then like only wheat, and you know I'm talking about, like the wheat paintings and stuff and prints, and it's like, you are boring. Like,
yeah.
None of this is comforting at all.
Yeah, my walls are all over the place. Well, I don't have anything on my walls anymore. I haven't had anything on my walls since I split up with my first husband. Like, Sandy, there is nothing on my walls. Nothing. Except for a mask from, I think, Spain that Heather got me.
I have, well, the I got for Christmas, and then this poster I got for Christmas.
I don't even have photos on my walls. That's really weird for me.
I don't have photos on my walls.
I used to always have photos of my kids and
Yeah, no, I don't have.
my plethora of children.
Your basketball team?
I love that word, plethora.
It is such a great word.
It is a great word.
That's my favorite. Have you ever played Waterfall?
No.
The card drinking game. Like each card, aces is you take one drink.
I don't like beer.
You can do Mike's Hard or whatever. But like aces, you take one drink. Twos is you take drinks, or you can give them away. Three is same thing. Four is like categories, so like breeds of dogs, and so everyone has to say a breed of a dog without repeating until someone can't think of a breed of a dog. There's rhyme, and then there's queens are bitches drinks, kings are assholes drink, or jacks are assholes drinks. King is waterfall, and that is like if you drew the king, you start drinking, and everyone starts drinking, and then we don't stop until you stop. So like if you stop drinking, then I can stop drinking, but if I want to be a dick to the person next to me, I just keep drinking, so that way all the way around. Like it just depends. And yeah, it's great. But there's also one called rhyme, and so you'd have to do like sponge, lunch, something like that. But plethora was my favorite one, because when you're drunk, you can't think of anything that rhymes with the word plethora.
No.
I can't think of anything that rhymes with the word plethora sober. So,
No.
I mean, there might be one, but I can't think of it. So yeah, like that one was my favorite. If I got rhyme like that, I'd be like plethora, and I was like, yeah.
I love the word plethora.
I like the word onomatopoeia.
I do too. I used to call one of my dogs onomatopoeia.
It's such a great word.
And then just because I loved that word.
It's got a great mouthfeel.
Yeah. And then his nickname was Anamana.
Onomatopoeia.
Come here, Anamana. He was a crazy dog.
Rich was watching the Polynesian Bowl last night, football game, and it was at the Kamehameha high school stadium, I think. But every time I heard them say Kamehameha, all I could think about was Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Going Super Saiyan.
Yeah. That's a great show.
Goku.
I like
Right? Isn't his name
Yep,
Goku?
Goku.
Yeah.
There's Krillin and Vegeta, and Piccolo's my man. I love Piccolo. Piccolo's the shit. Anyway, do you have another torture method, or are we pretty well done?
I don't think I have another one. Indian rope burn. Torture by Indian rope burn.
I've got something better for you.
What?
You know what a yucca plant is, right?
No.
You haven't seen like the spiky cactus looking things. They're like a bush, and they're just spiky spikes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's a yucca plant. So you get a guy hard. Don't jump to the punchline. Can I just leave it there? You got it?
Go ahead, keep going.
And then you stab it to the top. Get off the bed, out. Just stab it to the top. Because they're fibrous. For those that don't know yucca plants, they've got fibers. So like it'll break off and like, yeah, slivers everywhere.
Owie.
There's a fun one for you.
Poor Pooh Bear.
You're not gonna be looking at those plants ever again, are you?
No. Well, maybe.
It depends on how
I
bad.
can think of some people I would like to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. Because that one wouldn't kill them.
No, it just hurt a little.
Just a little. This blanket's getting there. I only have like 900 more rows to go.
I don't like to count.
I don't count the rows either.
I don't like to count the stitches even. I'm horrible. I wish that there was like a counter that would just count for me.
There is, I don't know how it works, but there is a crochet hook that's supposed to count the stitches.
I saw like a finger counter.
They get in the way.
But I was like, that looks annoying, so I didn't even buy it.
Yeah. I think this is going to be like a really heavy blanket by the time I'm done though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that.
Like it's squishy and like... You jump so easy. I scare you every day at work, like at least twice.
At least twice, but most days three
most
times.
days, all 3 times. Like for every break, I get you. But usually, like at least twice a day.
Okay, and the reason is because I get in my head, and then I'm just in my head. Like there's nothing else going on around me. Like I can see the machines running, but I'm just in my head. Do we have a weird fact?
A weird fact of the day?
Random fact.
I do, actually. A fun fact of the day is that baby platypuses are called puggles. And even though platypuses are an egg-laying mammal, they don't have nipples. They just excrete the milk.
So...
I'm not sure how. I don't know a platypus, but they just excrete it, like they sweat it out. Also, the male platypus has barbs and can actually poison or venom. Yeah. Platypuses are interesting. Also, I'm not sure if it's platypus or platypi for the plural, but
Carry the platypus.
yes, but that's the fun fact of the day. So, bye.
Bye.